Cue the cat. Okay, we should be live. Welcome,
Well,
everybody,
hopefully we are.
in the chat. We are here with the very the second in the series of Zweihander community Q&A videos. I am joined tonight by rules developer Adam Rose. Say hello, Adam.
Hello, Adam.
And lead playtester Mike the Bossaller. I had to look at my notes so I said it correctly. Thank you,
Mike.
guys. Hey, Mike. Thank you guys for joining me tonight. I really appreciate it. And I know the community as well really appreciates these. So thank you, gentlemen.
You're welcome.
Hopefully people will be trickling in here. I see some familiar names and faces jumping into the Twitch. So don't be strangers. You guys have some questions as well. Feel free to drop them in. Hey, Chuck, how's it going? Thank you for joining us. I can always count on you to make it rain in here. DOK in the house. Oh, tabletop keyboards here. Sergeant Baker is Adam, if you're wondering who that is.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got some questions here.
Hopefully we have some answers.
Hopefully we have some answers. Maybe we'll have some hints at Radiator for those who know what it is. I don't know.
There will be, yes.
There we go.
I'm prepared to share a little bit of the secrets.
Yeah. Opening the door to Radiator.
Yeah.
But
opening the hood to Radiator.
Yeah, that's there you go. That makes more sense.
Give a little gas.
All right, so let's I'm just minimizing some things here on my screens. Without further ado, let's make this a thing. Just make it up as you go. That's how I do. I know, Chuck. I've been in your games before. I've played with you. So I've sent you guys some of the questions. Do we care about the order? Just start from the top, work our way down.
You do whatever order you think is best.
All right. Well, we're not going to start with Radiator. We're going to make these people stick around and wait and watch this live stream. So you can wait for Radiator, all of you.
Okay. Good. It gives me more time to actually think something up.
Right? Okay. Well, let's go with the first question. Let's start, and when we'll go from there, we'll see where it takes us. How or what would you do to make the game work, the game being Zweihander, with a pulpy or more powerful play style?
Okay, with a more pulpy or more powerful play style. So when you say pulpy, what exactly do you mean by that? Could you elaborate on that?
Well, I'm going to assume what the person asking it meant was more action oriented is what I would interpret pulpy as. Like superhero porn, no, Chuck, no. More action oriented, because as you guys know, and I know from running Zweihander a number of times, combat's deadly. It's there, and it's well fleshed out system, but like there's a good chance you're gonna die if you get into combat over and over and over again. So how could you maybe take the game and the rules and make it more of a pulp or action oriented style game?
Okay, well, I know you said to wait to talk about Radiator, but at least share one.
We don't even need to start with there. What are you talking about?
Well, if you want to, have the ability to do more combat, how does one do the combat, right? One thing would be being able to use laudanum after you've been injured before it's treated.
Because usually with injuries, you can't heal until you've had it treated.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that is something that we're currently
we're
working out. We're playtesting that. And that's the only change we've made to that. But if I were to want to increase this even more, hello cat, if I were to want to increase this even more, then I would say that you could use laudanum more than once per day. But there has to be that opportunity cost, right? Mm-hmm. So I would say that it would be a multiplying corruption factor if I were to even go that route. And again, we're with the assumption that, yes, we do want it to be more action oriented.
Right. I like that.
Camp followers and barber surgeons. That's how you do it. Good meal moves you up. And then you have the barber surgeon moves you up too. You can't do much about injuries.
Yeah.
but you can at least get the healing done and then be somewhat in the fight because you can go from like Grievous up to lightly such. But then you got to make sure you have supplies and whatnot. So it's manageable. It's just the injuries that would be accumulating that would be really hard to, especially if you have grievous injuries to deal with.
Right.
Yeah. So I guess that would be staying within the confines of the rules.
I mean, that's how I would do it.
Yeah.
I mean, if they have to be NPCs, maybe instead of player characters, player characters play your murder hobos. Yeah, I love playing murder hobos. Yeah,
that he does.
How does that work in Zweihander? Does that work out well for you?
I haven't died yet. I almost did to a rock, but exploding dies. I mean, you could die to anything really. Just 6/6/6/6. You're just dead, or fate point. I think I once had a character that did have a 2 brawn bonds. That was I ran away from every fight.
Is that your halfling gutter snipe or?
Yeah, that was my halfling gutter snipe.
Yeah.
It was rough. I rolled, I think it was a 4, so I had a 29, and then a -1 brawn bonus from something else. So I was down to 1 for what, and then I bumped it back up with a profession. It was rough.
Yeah, but what was that movement?
My movement was like 14. Yeah, it was silly.
Book it across the battlefield.
Fast as a horse.
You couldn't catch me.
It's running in circles around the bad guys.
Yeah, range and kite. That was. Sure. I think I almost lost an ear once. Yeah, that was rough.
That takes me to another question. That ties into another question we have here. So good segue. Thank you, Mike.
Yeah.
Name a few. It says a few favorite. A few favorite 3-tier character builds. So give us your favorite 3-tier character builds when it comes to Zweihander.
My absolute favorite. It was the very first Mechanics Monday that we did on the Patreon because I just absolutely love this build. If you've ever played any game that offers this as an option, a viable option to punch people, I want to do it. So the very first profession that you would create in this is you would pick the Pugilist. And the Pugilist gets an amazing ability to inflict serious and grievous injuries with fists and all weapons that are brawling. They can also furthermore always reference their brawn bonus or their combat bonus, depending on which one's better. And then they get some neat talents that are the ability to inflict an extra D10 when you put somebody in a chokehold, the ability to make an opportunity attack if they resist said chokehold, and then the ability to knock someone down if you take aim beforehand. The next step I would take is from Mongosh, and that would be the Convict. Yes, I do. I love hugging people to death.
He really does.
Yeah. The next step I would take is the Convict, mainly because a lot of those skills and bonuses you get complement that build already, but it gives you the ability to, when you parry a weapon with a brawling weapon, which these are brawling weapons, you then get to make an opportunity attack. It also gives you lightning reaction. Ooh. So yeah, you can use all 3 of your action points, at least have 1 left to parry with. So an extra, 2 brawn bonus, do an extra damage, soak an extra damage as well, as much as one can in Zweihander. And then the last one I would pick would be the footpad, because the footpad has some neat abilities, but it is the only one with the talent that should somebody successfully parry your attack, you get to make a barehanded attack against them. So you take aim, try to hit them, and if you hit them, you knock them down. If they happen to parry that shot, you hit them again. And then you try and choke them out, and then if they resist it, you hit them again.
That's some dirty min-maxing.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
You played a character, Talia.
Yeah.
and she was a brick house.
It's like you know the rules of this game or something.
Yeah. Daniel allowed me to play an ogre reskinned as a human. And then we somehow got our hands on munitions plate and put Talia in that, and she was a powerhouse.
What was your damage threshold?
My base damage threshold, first one was 15.
Oh, what?
And
you just never got hurt?
No. We got 1 or 2 advances into advanced and then started a new campaign. So yeah, I didn't even get to buy all my brawn bonuses. But the thing is that Daniel just has a knack for being able to roll explosions with me.
Yeah, he does.
So yeah, even with a straight up damage threshold of 15, there was a time when I was surprised and I got one shot at 30 something damage. There's nothing I could. Had to use a fate point.
And that's why combat is deadly and unpredictable.
Yes.
Yeah, I was both angry and extremely pleased.
You can't be mad. No. You can, but you should.
Yeah. It's part of the game. That is an insane build. Wow.
Yeah.
Mike, how about you?
The one I'm playing right now is probably one of my favorites, which is Dragoon into Pistolier. And then I wanted to do Smuggler, but Tim wanted to do Smuggler because he's always wanted to do Smuggler. But anyway, I'm going to do Watchman instead. Because the idea is you have a gun and you just shoot someone first and you kill them. Have Take Aim, which gives you +3 damage. You'd have Gangster Grip, which would give you an extra D6 if you're within a yard. And so, yeah, you just take them down and then just execute. That's the quick and dirty of that one. So people that watch Queen of Embers will eventually see that. But the other thing is with Dragoon is if you're on a horse and someone's on ground, you get an extra D6. So it's half one way, 6 dozen other.
Mm-hmm.
So of whether you want to just stab someone, get an extra D6, or shoot someone and get the extra D6.
Shoot. One shot, one kill.
Well, especially because explosions on 1 and 6. So if they're on the ground, you have the normal one, and then you have the one from Gangster Grip. And if it rolls a 1 or a 6, it explodes. And if I use my fortune point to make it a 2, a 6, or something like that, boom. Yeah, it's dirty.
Yeah.
So, but I have other builds because I've been doing Mechanics Mondays, a lot of fun ones, like a Dirty Tricks, where you're just making everyone susceptible. Dirty Tricks. My assistant bot that I just did today, where you can give someone 2 extra D10s for assisting, plus they crit, fail, and they flip to succeed. So you're just basically the hype guy for the group. You're just encouraging everyone and assisting, and you just make everyone better. So that'd be fun.
Yeah, so another one for me would be what I'm playing right now, and that's if you had to try to make a tank in Zweihander, I'd recommend this. And that would be a man-at-arms at first, so you can parry for other people. And then a sellsword next, so that you're immune to moderate and serious injuries, both from a professional trait and a talent. And then the Armiger would be my third pick, so that every time you're hit, you increase your damage threshold by 1.
So do you guys use the Grim Perilous method? This isn't one of the questions. I'm curious now because you got all these crazy builds. Do you use the Grim Perilous method when you play? Or
not entirely.
Do you just choose what you want?
We've done it in the past.
Yeah.
I prefer to build my characters.
Right.
But Nick will do whatever. He'll roll chaos and just let it be in play.
So okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kay's character was entirely random.
She loves that. But I mean, I'll do it if everyone else does it. But if you let me build my murder hobo, I will.
Yeah. What I prefer to do is I prefer to, unless the setting says otherwise, I prefer to let people pick their ancestry and profession and randomly roll everything else.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. I've always just gone full Grim and Perilous.
Well, yeah, and I would recommend that. However, when you've been doing it for what 7-8 years
Something
now,
like that, yeah.
Right, yeah.
Tend to pick a few, and so there's that rule in there that says if you don't like a rule, change it. So
I also like to build characters and go, Dan, are you sure you want everyone to do this?
Yeah, right.
Well, and then he might go, no, let's look at that again.
Just want to say thank you to the follows. We're getting quite a few follows here on Twitch. So thanks everybody who's jumping in here and following us. We're also being hosted by Boffrin's channel. So thank you everyone who's here.
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
That is that pugilist build is dirty.
It is,
and I like
it. You should really try it. If you ever do become a patron, anyone out there, you can just go to on the left hand side. We have hashtags that you can click on that'll sort, and you can go to Mechanics Mondays. And right now, Mike is doing a lot of deep dives into each and every action combat. But he's soon going to start unleashing a whole bunch of builds.
Yeah, bunch of builds.
Cool. So hey, join the Patreon. I gotta get somebody give me the link to that Patreon. I'll look it up here while we're chatting.
Yeah.
Someone's saying hi to you, Adam, there in chat.
Hi, Vic Voyager. I don't recognize the screen name.
The Drode LOS. What up, nerds?
Oh,
what up, nerds?
I recognize that person. Playtester.
Yeah.
Cool. Sorry, I'm searching for your Patreon here as you're talking to the stream.
Chase was a member in my favorite band I ever had. That I used to try and be a rock star back in the day, back in my 20s. And yeah, we made a good run of it.
Nice. Now you guys reminisce about the dream.
Yeah. Ran into him at the game store a while back.
There we go. Oh, the one where you guys did the release and the live plays and everything?
Kansas City.
Mm-hmm.
If you're in the Kansas City area, go check it out. Tabletop's awesome.
Looks
you even got a free section where you can go and borrow games and play them in the store.
Yeah.
It's really legit.
There you go, free plug.
I was recognized as a top fan.
Were you?
Yeah. It's great.
What does that mean?
I'm excited. I don't know. Facebook notified me. They were like, "You're a top fan." I'm like, "Yes."
Yeah. Do I get 10% off or more? Well, let's stick with the questions about characters. We got one here. Someone says, quite often the characters in your group will be the descendants or members of a certain family. There are a number of families that are mentioned often. Do they have a format or a list of families that you guys use in your games? It's an interesting concept that I've not heard of before. Just wondering how you organize and utilize this aspect of your games.
Well, the answer is kind of, as far as do we have a list? Most of it, honestly, is by memory, because Daniel is really good at tying in old campaigns. He's fantastic at it. So he can constantly remind us. And then you have players like Tim and Walter, who have been playing for 20 years. And like me, I've only been playing with Daniel a meager 11 years in comparison to that.
I started in like 2010.
Yeah, it's been a long time. Yeah. So you get to know these family names. Now, it's not completely out of memory, because before we really got into making Zweihander an actual game, like we used a wiki, and it was such an excellent tool. If you're building a world out there, if you're running multiple campaigns, and whoever did ask that, since you show an interest in that, get some sort of wiki and start a wiki, because then you can create hyperlinks to everything, and you could spend hours and hours reading that if you're a new person to the campaign. And that was a tool that helped so many people get used to Dan's world that he had created. So Kay is the newest player to our table. She played in some of my games that I had run, but she's the newest player to Daniel's table, and like she has a name that carries a lot of weight, the last name of Marius, and she's been able to pick up on some of the nuances of that particular family.
Yeah, because what Dan would do in the past is he would give us extra, I think XP at the time. Now it's RP, But to go on the wiki, put updates on there, links to other things. So I would just go there sometimes and just like lose yourself in the wiki. Just be like, wait, this person did this thing and this person did this thing. So it's really kind of cool thing. So I definitely agree with Adam. Anyone who's building their world, it's definitely a good idea.
Yeah, there's great tools I put in chat. The World Anvil, I don't know if you guys have seen it, would be amazing for that.
I actually got to experience that for the first time at my table in the campaign that we're running now, because I would constantly switch worlds, and so now I've been able to run like a third or second campaign in the world that I'm writing. And so we have some former players showing back up as NPCs now, and I get to play one of Nick O'Hare's former players as an NPC, and it's been quite entertaining for me. Hopefully, he likes it if we can get those sessions out there. Yeah,
I really enjoy his impression of his own brother.
Yeah,
I'm sure your brother really likes that. He appreciates it.
Oh, he ate it.
He was sitting. I was watching. It was great. He was laughing.
Well, fellas, I got a warning here. I didn't realize that we were doing the 3 in there. Originally, it was the 2 because you guys were side by side. Because we have the 3, and I'm not upgraded to Pro in Zoom. We've got an 8-minute time limit, so I don't know.
What?
How we're gonna solve this? But last time this happened, I was with the Against the Dark Master guys, and one of them were like, "I'm a pro. I have pro access. Here, I'll just restart the call on mine." And I was like, "Cool." So yeah, we got a bit of a time limit here, so we might take a brief break and then come back because we're only about halfway through our questions, and I don't want to cut us off or end this prematurely. Hey, can you do that, Chuck? Can you message me on Discord or something? Like set it up and shoot us the invites? Chuck's gonna save the day.
Yeah. So is it gonna kick people out for?
It'll end our Zoom call that we're on. So everybody's gonna stay in the Twitch. Nothing's gonna happen to them.
Okay.
Just our call is gonna end in 7 minutes and 24 seconds.
Why can't I hear you?
We can always move to Google Hangouts also if need be.
I'm pretty sure that we can answer one more question at the very least, and
speed round.
Yeah.
Speed round. Okay. Oh, how rare should Witchstone be?
I'm min maxi. I either wanted to be like super all over the place or not at all.
So the short answer is it is setting dependent, but that's not an answer you're looking for, because it's your world. How prevalent is up to you. So as a matter of opinion, and what I believe, I'm pretty sure I know what Daniel wants to, as far as being the writer. It should be MacGuffin level. Like it should be something that you have to sacrifice in order to get to, as far as rarity goes.
Yeah.
I did try the game The System. As an engineer, you're always able to find the resources you require. So I was an alchemist first, engineer second, and I was like, where's the Witchstone at? It says here, you got to tell me so I can go make me some Witchstone.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to make elixirs, and I wanted to make like all the stuff. I was going to make rune stuff. I was going to make magic armor. I was going to do everything. And he's just like, MacGuffin. I was like,
Yeah.
No spoilers about something about Marie, but my guys were so excited when they're like, a shipment of Witchstone? And I won't say anything that goes on there. There is Witchstone in that quest. But yeah, my guys were really excited.
the end. It was guarded with like 100 people, and I was like, he's like, well, it's there if you want to go get it. And I was like, all right, we'll figure this out. Yeah. We're terrorists anyway in that game. Well, freedom fighters. It's, history writes.
Yeah. So there was a time when Nick O'Hare, one of his characters, decided to do some chaotic things. Big surprise. And he came down with chaotic rot. And so it was either psychosurgery or panacea. So we tried to go for the panacea route for a while, and I got the witch stone, but then I didn't have a lab that we could get to. And so it was, okay, let's go for the psychosurgery option. And I asked Nick's character, I was like, do you want me to take my time or no? And he's like, no, just get it over with. 3 times in a row, I failed by less than 10%.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So he lost 27% willpower.
Ooh. That hurts.
Yeah, but I'm, now that I've said that it should be a MacGuffin, I think that once you get that initial one, it should be a little bit easier and more prevalent as far as from a thematic sense. Some settings have it to where all the witch stone is from a moon that burst apart, or a meteor that fell out of the sky, or something like that. So, take that for what you will. You can have places that you can go to try and find it. But I think the first one, it should be an ordeal.
Yeah.
And then after that, increase it some.
I agree. But like you guys said at the beginning of that question as well, it's really up to the person running it. How rare or common you want it in your world. Really.
Everywhere.
I dropped a link to the new Zoom call, courtesy of Chuck, in the Hangouts. Ooh. So if you guys want to click that, and I'll... I don't know what that's going to look like to switch over live. I'm sure it's going to completely...
You did that in the Hangouts. I was like, sure, I'll support you on Patreon.
Oh, did I post the Patreon link in there? No.
No.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I need to...
Yeah, there's a new link in there. So I'll let you guys jump over. We got 3 minutes before this call ends. And let's see what happens while we do this live.
Do it live.
It's going to ruin my overlay. Whoa. Did you guys jump over?
Not yet.
Okay.
I'm almost there. I'm just...
Connecting.
Papa Chuck to the rescue.
Yeah. Thanks, Chuck. Looks like we were the kobolds and you defended us.
Yeah. Still loading?
Probably don't want to see my ceiling, so I'll turn that off.
I do.
So it's got a grayed out join a meeting button.
Drop out of this call.
Okay.
And I'll meet you over there.
Bye.
Oh, are we there now? Yeah, it's literally talking heads. Let's see what happens. Hey. I'm back. Hello, stream. Oh, yeah, this is really going to mess up the overlay. Oh, no, perfect. It's going to work also. All right. I see you guys. I don't hear you guys. We had this problem before stream. We did a lot of troubleshooting to get to where we were. So I apologize for the technical difficulties to everybody who's here. You can ask me questions in the meantime while they get their audio sorted out. And I'll answer any questions to the best of my ability. Zweihander related or otherwise. You are a fantastic individual.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
I can hear you.
Cool, we got it.
And Mike can hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yes. The overlay's a little janky. It doesn't matter. We're still going. Thanks to Chuck, the hero.
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks, Chuck.
Thank you, Chuck. That's awesome.
Yeah,
All right.
should be. Yeah.
I really need to get a Zoom subscription. Next order business. Okay.
You are the greatest. That's how great you are.
He is the greatest of the defenders of the kobold.
Is he the best around?
He's the best around. Never gonna let you stand. You didn't come here to listen to me sing.
He says true story right there. I can hear someone laughing in the background at your singing. Yeah, someone just giggled, tee-heed in the background.
Yeah, she's our editor. She's just laughing at us. She often does when she reads anything we write.
All right. Did we get any questions in the meantime? We got a mic. Well, if you're going to throw it away, Bossaller.
That's downstairs Mike, as we call him, giving us a hard time.
We got a suggestion from BizLab. ZimWiki is a good wiki to use. World Anvil. Somebody blames Mike for it going down. Overlay ruined. Oh, Daniel's in here. Hey, Daniel. Yes, my overlay is ruined. It's the way it goes. Literally talking heads. Yeah, and that's it. All right, so no new questions. Shall we get back to it, gentlemen?
Sure.
We only have a handful of questions left. Oh. We have someone asking about Colonial Gothic. Ask about Colonial Gothic and other games in the future that will use the powered by Zweihander system. Well, what do you want to know, BizLab? And Shadowrun Zweihander.
I do love you some 5th edition Shadowrun.
Yeah,
I played a game for a number of years, like 3 years. Yeah, a lot of fun running Shadows. Interested to see how 6th edition comes along, but
yeah, me too.
Yeah,
we could say one thing I know of for sure that we can talk about in Colonial Gothic, and that's we're doing something in our current Queen of Embers episodes that Daniel is putting forth in there, and that is that one of the uses that you can use for fortune points is after you have received damage and dealt with all consequences, like rolled for injuries, all that.
Slain.
Yeah, well, not that one.
You're dead.
Yeah. So from lightly wounded to grievously wounded, you can spend a fortune point to move back up the damage condition track by 1 step. You can also do the same thing for the peril condition track. Because last I checked, people in colonial times weren't running around in full plate.
Yeah. Nope. So, no armor.
Yeah, so we are introducing that in this campaign. It's a lot of fun. An episode that hasn't aired yet, I used it to great extent.
Great effect.
Yeah.
I thought he was dead as heck.
Yeah, so there's a whole lot of other really neat things that I'm looking forward to in Colonial Gothic. Don't know if I can necessarily talk about it, but also
it's coming.
I may have been in and out of consciousness when I was in the meeting with Richard when we went to Chicago, because I wound up in the hospital that weekend. So
that's
interesting vacation. Yeah.
Not as fun as my vacation.
Yeah. No, this guy got back from Florida.
Southwest Florida. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Lucky.
So other games in the future that will use the system, we know that there's Tetsubo as well coming out. We spent some time going over the showdown mechanic. Mm-hmm. It's a lot of fun. There's an article on there on our Patreon talking about the showdown system, and you think I should give just a brief overview?
True.
Okay. To paint very broad strokes, you're essentially finding a way to constantly up the amount of fury dice that you get before both of you try and strike for the showdown system. I mean, imagine like in Yojimbo where they're standing there and they're staring each other down, and it's that battle of wills, and
just one slash and it's over.
Yeah, so we emulate that through a system that essentially gives either person more and more and more fury dice. So it's a lot of fun.
I'm really excited for that game.
Yeah. Now, would I ever really do that in a series campaign? That's pretty big risk for me. But I guess if we're playing a campaign like that and somebody calls me out, then it may not be the best idea to also turn it down because of how you could be seen. So I hope I'm trying to give some information without also getting in trouble with Mr. Zweihander RPG that's listening in.
He hasn't said anything in the chat. I'm watching.
Yeah,
I'm waiting for him to say, shut your mouth.
Meanwhile, your phones are ringing there off the hook.
I got my phone to the side. It's okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm looking forward to Tetsubo. I can't wait to hear more about that. We have another question here from one of my guys, one of my players who played in all of our Zweihander sessions so far. And he asks, why was it decided to go with single combat skill versus melee and ballistic?
Okay, that was a long time ago. Wow. So we wanted to have, and I could be wrong here, hopefully you'll correct me if I am. We wanted to have it to where you could have a different build than you were normally used to. So we wanted to have 7 primary attributes. I know that. And then we also wanted it to where if you were a warrior type and you're of that archetype, the notion that you're only good with melee weapons is we wanted to make that come out in professions more or less rather than just simply with skill allotment. And so making it to where maybe I'm better at striking with a melee weapon than I am with a ranged weapon, but I still know where to put the pointy end of any weapon. That way we could have it to where, well, I'm more accurate with a melee weapon, but if I hit you with a ranged weapon, I'm still just as deadly. And that's how skills and bonuses are able to tie in that way. Mike?
Yeah, because we totally did do, I think originally we had 9, because we love the number 9. And we did have melee and range be their own thing. But it kind of is why when you can just make it 1 and keep it simple. I think that was part of the thing, was just keep it simple. Don't necessarily make it more complicated than it need to be. And again, if I can know how to lead a target, then I kind of know how to lead a target, whether I'm throwing something or shooting something or a bow or a gun or whatever it might be. So it kept it simple, just simple melee, martial melee, simple range, martial range.
There's also part of why we made it brawn instead of toughness and strength.
Yeah, because we had a strength and then we had toughness. We're like, well, let's just, again, keep it simple. Less stats to keep track of.
Yeah, I remember being like almost adamantly opposed when it was brought up, like, well, why don't we just combine them into one? It's like, no, because you can have somebody that's tough but they're not strong. You can have somebody that's strong but not tough. And it was like, after a while, after we tried it, because I had to be convinced, no, just try it and give it a shot. And I'm all about it now. Like, I think it's great to have somebody that you can have them be just pure brawny. Another thing that helped win me over is that was also the time that we were deciding that it's not going to be strength that determines damage. It's going to be combat.
Right.
Like, you have somebody who knows how to wield a sword and they're not that strong. And if they know where to cut, then it's going to do some damage.
Just as deadly, if not deadlier. Yeah, that's good. That's a good idea. There you go. That answers your question, Oak. I think he asked me that question the first time I sat down with Daniel, and I didn't ask, and he got mad at me. So now the question's been answered. Why'd you ask my question, damn it? I'm one of your players. We have another question here, chat, regarding combat. It's, why is the distance of ranged weapons dependent on perception only? It makes sense for firearms, as you can perceive the target to a distance, and the weapon will reach it. But for thrown weapons, shouldn't it be more brawn-related? So what was the decision behind that rules finalization?
Yeah, because I think we had for a while, we were like, well, do we want to make it agility based? Do we want to make it brawn based? Do we want to make it strength based? Because I can pull, maybe if I'm stronger, a bow farther back and they would go further. But again, I think it was just boiling it down to make it simple. Because you don't want too many things based off of combat. So make it perception, because you have to be able to see the target in order to hit the target. And then, just kind of kept it simple to the 3, 6, 9, 12 in some cases.
One in others.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that pretty much is it right there. It's a matter of keeping it simple. And there is a matter of, like, I oftentimes talk when we're playtesting, there's a certain hierarchy, and there's realism versus playability. And we really strive for realism, but playability will win out. And also sometimes design intention will also win out. Whereas, like, you want people to be able to shine in certain areas as well. So, like, those that have the higher perception, they're going to be able to hit things that are farther away. Right. And it's something that you can count on. There are always exceptions, but it's something that you can count on. Is like, if you have a higher perception bonus, you can count on going first, and you can count on being able to hit things that are farther away.
Okay.
When I say count on, have a higher odds.
Yeah, a better chance.
Yeah.
Yeah. Plus, if my the character I'm playing now, the Pistolier, doesn't have actually any perception bonuses, so it has a very short range with their pistols. So I think it'd be interesting. Yeah, it's kind of a balance thing, because if they had, higher perceptions, could shoot further, then you just snipe everyone.
Right.
It'd be 360 no scopes just everywhere.
360 no scopes. Well, yeah. S. Tao, I hope you're saying your name correctly, who asked the question, thanked you guys. So I think you answered their awesome question.
What about Defenders of Kobold's question?
He wants to know when you guys are going to invite him up there to play with you.
Well, I'm particularly of the school of, you don't show up to someone's place without being invited.
Is that Adam's a vampire? Says Daniel.
No, I'm saying, Chuck, you should
you should invite them to your dojo.
Yeah.
You've got the rig there. You've got the equipment set up.
Yeah. Invite us out.
All right. There you go. Daniel says name a weekend. They'll be there.
We're just kidding. We got couches.
No, he's in Lawrence.
What's that?
He's in Lawrence.
Oh, he's in Lawrence?
He's close to you guys.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, now it may take a little bit of effort to get Matt, but
hey, I'm down. It's going to be a very pricey game for me to get there.
Yeah.
It'll be priceless.
Oh, I see what you did there.
Yeah.
It would be priceless. But no Canadians allowed. What? Oh, that's harsh. But the two of you are going to be at Gen Con, are you not? I'll see you guys at Gen Con in the flesh. Oh, snap. Yeah. The boss with the delivery.
I have a witty one every once in a while.
Yeah.
The Thane, that's right. I got to ask my Thane, the Thane of Canada, if I can go down there and play role-playing games with you guys. Mm-hmm. It's like an ongoing joke on the channel. We have Thanes instead of Prime Ministers. Don't you Canadians erupt into flames when you set foot on American soil? Well, I guess we'll find out when I go to Gen Con.
Yeah.
It could be a very short trip for me. I'll leave a widow and 2 children behind to go play games.
Worth it.
Totally.
I'll be excited to do my first Gen Con.
Yeah, me too. I've never been before, and I'm jumping in feet first, running games for a whole bunch of strangers. It'll be very interesting.
Yeah, my very first Gen Con, we worked it the whole time. Same with Daniel.
Yeah, but you show up and won an innie.
Yeah, you won awards at your first Gen Con. Come on now.
Well, I mean, you must, like, if you're going to go all the way, right?
Game of the year, product of the year. That's it. You got to drop the mic. You don't show back.
So I'm still in shock. Seriously. Like, I cannot believe that we won, like, gold in both. Mm-hmm. And like Daniel was like, oh, you know, I don't know. And I was like, no, it's okay. I think we'll get a silver.
Yeah, it's nice to be nominated, right?
Yeah. But no, I was like, no, I'm pretty sure. I think we'll get a silver. Like, call me a Pollyanna.
Yeah. Sweep the Ennies.
Mm-hmm.
How are you going to top it this year?
Actually, I don't think we have any submissions.
There's other submissions. You just got to do something really big at the show to make a splash.
I'm just going to drink and play games.
So you're going to come drink with us? So I get hammered enough to go up there and make a fool of myself?
Yeah.
No, let's not.
Bring me along. Chuck's going to jump out of a cake for us. I don't know about that, Chuck. That's it. That's a deal breaker right there.
Yeah, I think he's saying it's a piece of cake.
No,
yeah. You know, it was already a tough sell with Lawrence, but now you coming out of a cake? No. I heard the giggles again.
She has a infectious laugh, and you'll get to hear more of it hopefully soon.
All right. Daniel says doing Dream Date for the Ennies this year. Waiting for confirmation. I don't know what that means.
I think it's is that where it's like the game show to where you like auction yourself for
yeah. No boy. All right. Let's go back to that's the chat questions. Let's jump back to the questions. People are loving this though. We've got how many people we have here? We have 15 people joining us.
Oh, awesome. That's cool.
Speaking of Thanes, why don't Rune Thanes or Rune Jarls have incantation as a skill if their primary focus is making runes?
Okay. First part of that answer is because the only professions that get incantation are ones that cast magic. So that's the first part of that question. Do you want to take a stab at the rest of that, or because we talked about it a little bit and I can't remember?
Yeah, I mean, I thought about it and I was like, well, they kind of need incantation, they kind of don't, because their skill or their professional trait allows them to use it untrained, which means they don't have to flip to fail. And I think they've flipped to succeed, actually.
Yeah.
So even if you had like a 42% chance, that actually it's not bad. And ideally, it's a second profession anyway, so maybe you did go in from a magic caster, so you probably already have one anyway. But I mean, there's ways to work around it. And if you look at Mangaush as well, the Rune Jarl doesn't have it either, which I thought was interesting. So it's as designed.
Well, there's a little bit more. So the skill focus is in tradecraft. And so most of that is a barrier to entry, because we don't want just any old spellcaster doing it either. We want somebody who is focused on creating objects with tradecraft. So you want somebody that is essentially doing both. Now, then you may ask yourself, well, why is the focus in tradecraft? Because focuses allow you to ignore peril thresholds. Well, if you look in there, it talks about how you need to make a tradecraft test for the very first step, and that's the inscribe, not the empowerment. Yeah, it's the inscribe stage. And it'll tell you how, if you're not in a dangerous environment, you don't need to make a test. Well, you're not always not in a dangerous environment. So when you are in a dangerous environment, you do need to make that tradecraft test in order to inscribe the rune. And then you will be able to ignore peril too if you have that focus.
Cool. I think that answer. We had another question there regarding rituals and rune things, and you answered it in that. So we have
my question though.
Yeah.
Is why making traps is part of skullduggery, even though making traps is either survival or tradecraft. Because things are fun. Chaos.
You don't have the answer to this. You're just asking the question now to the.
I'm asking the question to just to everyone. Yeah, because I asked him that the other day because I wanted to make a bunch of traps in one of the games we were playing.
Yeah, and since he wasn't one of the questionnaires, I didn't take time to research it yet. Throwing me under the bus.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Mike.
Yeah,
classic Mike.
Now he's beholden to answer me.
Well, that can be one of the future Patreon posts.
Yeah.
So we got a couple questions left.
Great.
We got Radiator. We got Patreon. Which one do you guys want to go with? Which direction do you want to go?
Let's do Patreon.
Patreon? Okay, so convince us of 3 good reasons to join the Grim Perilous Patreon, which I will link again in the chat while you guys elaborate.
Well, there's the reasons why you'd want to join the Patreon now. I think I'll let Mike take that.
My cheesy answer is because I'm great and he's great and you're great. That's why you should join. Otherwise, we got the Mechanics Monday, which I do a lot of, and I think those are great because I do them. They're informative.
Yeah.
And I think we're going to be doing some character builds, which everyone loves character builds. And looking into what the actions actually can do, and then how you can build kind of fun characters out of it. Like I didn't think of, like using Litany of Hatred to potentially do like 4d10 worth of peril damage. Yeah.
What?
This guy.
Wow.
Okay, so you start with being ogre with I think it's Ferocious Bellows as the character trait, which when you do Litany of Hatred, you have a chance to deal stress or fear if you crit. And then you go, I can't exactly remember, but there's 2 professions that add on a D10 basically of its own, plus like willpower. So it ends up being an insane amount of potential. You can just like make people pass out just by scaring them. So it's in the deep dive for Litany of Hatred. So check it out. It's pretty awesome. But yeah, no, there's that, and there's the Monster of the Month, which we get great art from Deanne.
Which
original art
one should be out tomorrow. Let's seeing if I get it back in time.
Yeah, so we get cool new characters. You get the Mechanics Monday.
There's the $10 level.
Oh yeah, so you get to create an injury potentially by being a $10 donor. So we got cards. Like it gets to be printed out and it's just random because we love random.
Right. So does my character, Terwin, do something that annoys you? Get revenge. Turn in those injuries descriptions, and hopefully Dan will draw that when it comes time to injure me, because I'm kind of the tank.
Yeah.
And I'm a glutton for punishment. I really am.
I'm waiting to kill him one day with mine.
One day.
Of course, it'll probably end up killing me, but we'll see.
So then the $15 level.
Yeah, so we got the $15 range, which is where you get to see the cool things like the write up for the Tetsubo, what we were talking about earlier with the strike. You also get some of the cool exclusive stuff like our Think wall that we did for Radiator, which we'll talk about later.
The ideation session, yes.
Ideation, okay. Think tank wall.
Yeah, think tank wall. That's good.
So yeah, we got a good amount of value right now, and we got a lot of ideas for future value.
Yes. So last thing though, if you don't have it already and you're looking to get into Zweihander and Main Gauche, if you sign up at the $15 level, you also get a free PDF.
Yep. Is that Main Gauche and?
Yeah.
I believe so.
Yeah.
So.
Sure. We're making it official now.
I'm pretty sure.
I'm pretty sure.
If not, well, Daniel, I guess I owe you.
Well, it's definitely the core rule book.
Yeah. So there's things coming, and we. I'm sorry, it's just too funny. So things that we have scheduled for the future. We have a form that we put out today where we're asking for additional feedback. So if you want to see more from the Patreon, because you're like, well, I would pledge, but only if they offered this, like, or I'm waiting for this particular goal. Like I'm waiting for Radiator because that's one of our goals to drop, and then I'll pledge. Let us know what you think about that, and if we get enough feedback, then maybe we might release something a little bit early, because if that's what people are waiting on, then why not just do it?
Give the people what they want.
Yeah. So things that we have coming up, and like an idea or two as well. One thing that we have coming up is character sheets of the players that we're playing right now. Mm-hmm. And should we unlock that goal, then everybody that's at the $10 and $15 level will get the character sheets up front. It'll be illustrated by Dan Mandich, and then they will go in the back of the book when Queen of Embers is released. Mm-hmm. If we don't get that goal, they won't.
People, make this happen. Throw your money at them.
So another goal is that I have been running. Actually, wait, I'll wait that because then it'll segue. Okay. Another goal that we have is to truly take the show, the Queen of Embers show, to a professional level. And we're getting there here and there. We're making improvements. But if we can get to that goal, then we'll be able to do it much, much sooner. Another idea we have is that we used to give character updates
with the wiki
every week on the wiki, and I have talked it over with the players, and everybody around the table is willing to give a character update from their perspective, as well as come in early and record their character saying it, so that we would have, before every episode, we would have a recap by one of the characters completely from their perspective. So some things that may have happened in the last episode may not be talked about at all. Or you may actually get insight as to why Nick did what he did.
Chaos. It's why he did anything.
Yeah, it really is it. Yeah, but then one of the other things that we have, I've been running a play session on Friday nights. And what I started it with was a simple reskinning of Zweihander. And I have had a love for post-apocalyptic setting since the 80s. I've just absolutely loved the idea of something that's after the modern day society, after bombs went off, disease took over, something happened that we can adventure in that time, because we have some ability to have some futuristic things. But when you have like constant communication, cell phone towers, things like that, it lessens the adventure just barely. So in a post-apocalyptic setting, you can get that, and you maybe don't have quite that infrastructure. So that sense of adventure is a little bit easier to capture. Well, I started running it, and I convinced myself, and I finally got over my nervousness to actually start writing for this setting. And what we're going for now is we're going for a chapbook. And thanks to the fine folks around the table, we have come up with a name for it. It's called Radiator. Now, when you think of the word radiator, you think of cars, right? Or maybe, something heating a room. And you may ask yourself, well, come on, what's this? Zweihander, Mangausch, Tetsubo, radiator, where'd that come from? Well, it's going to be a gun.
Oh, yes. Cool.
It's going to be a gun. So we're recording right now. Started off completely as a reskin. We didn't do any development.
Yeah, that was just Zweihander in Apocalyptic World. Go.
Yeah, and for Magic users, because why not?
Why not?
Yeah. So, yeah, that challenges me as the GM to no end. We then started going, okay, well, I really want my brother to play, and he can only come once every other week. And I also need to spend some time actually making this. Otherwise, it's just going to stay a reskin. So every other Friday we play, and on those off Fridays, we have development sessions. And for a while now, we've been recording them to kind of work ahead, because we do like to work ahead in case we skip a week. That way nobody's missing any content. And we've worked ahead a lot, so we're really hoping that we can get to that goal so that we can.
I want this goal.
Yeah,
I want this goal.
Yeah. So if it helps the goal, I'm willing to spill just a little bit more about it.
Segue to Radiator question.
Yes.
What can you tell us about Radiator?
It's a gun. It's a gun.
Oh, I thought you said it's done. I was like, what?
Ta-da! No.
Yeah, now I'm really under pressure. Excuse me while I write.
No, it's a gun. G-U-N.
Yeah, G-U-N. There's things that we want to do, and we're willing to do all of this like in front of everyone. Like as far as talking about it, those that are Inquisitors already know some of the things we talked about, where Daniel led us through this amazing exercise that I actually use quite a bit now. Wow, I completely lost my train of thought. So we've been working on this for some time now. So what I can say, I'm embarrassed. I completely lost my train of thought. This happens sometimes.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's all good. We've already had technical difficulties. Things have already gone wrong, so don't worry about it.
Technical difficulties. Yeah. So where was I?
An exercise that Daniel shared with you guys that you've taken and embraced.
Yes, so we've taken and embraced it, and we've got a fair amount of work done into the chapbook now. As a matter of fact, what I'm confident enough in saying, because it's done, we have an ancestry that we will include in the chapbook that if we reach this goal, the Inquisitors will be able to receive and take a look at. And that ancestry is called Revenant.
Okay.
And so for anybody who's been getting the Monster of the Months, I've been creating something called Feral Revenants. And the description for the family has been that when the moon split apart and the meteors fell from the sky, they landed and there was this miasma that spread from the meteors. Yeah, meteors that fell from the sky. And this miasma radiation has changed these creatures to the point to where they started to mutate. So what revenants are is they are people that were alive when the bombs went off, and they have been changed to the point by radiation that their cellular mitosis is slowed down, and they've stopped aging, but they also don't regenerate cells that fast. So they kind of look like zombies. And so you'll be able to play as one of those in this post-apocalyptic setting.
Cool.
Yeah. So we have all the bonuses listed out. We've got all of the 12. 12 ancestral traits to choose from. Like one of them is where your skin gives off the same amount of light as a candle.
Cool.
Because a lot of ancestries they can see in the dark, right? And in true Zweihander fashion, I mean, we shouldn't just say that you see in the dark. There has to be a condition. Well, condition is your skin has to be showing. A portion of your skin.
So portions of your skin, or just strip down naked and run around in the dark.
Well, not fully naked. I mean, you can.
I know.
I'm not against it, but yeah.
Cool. Well, yeah, that's a cool detail. Thank you for sharing that. It was asked in the chat: spells or spell-like powers or standard combat?
Yes. So,
how much do you want to reveal here?
No. It's
okay.
I'm talking very broadly.
Okay.
There will be spells. What I'm planning on right now, and it may change, and actually, like there being spells may change too, but I'm pretty sure that's staying. In true Zweihander fashion, I'm going to call it atomics with a CKS at the end. And that is going to be magic. And there's pretty much only going to be one tradition. So probably 10 schools of magic.
Wow.
So maybe not the 30 that Zweihander has, but again, magic really is the focus that I want for the setting, but I want it to be there. Definitely want it to be there. There will be 6 ancestries total.
We're thinking potentially, yeah.
As far as like what I have planned. And coming up with the concepts for those was a lot of fun because there's not a whole bunch of traditional ancestries.
Mm-hmm.
Revenant we decided to choose because it's kind of close to another that of a not so well-known franchise out there. But,
yeah.
Just hinting at it,
just
a little comparison, not a lot.
Rhymes with call out.
Yeah.
We wouldn't want to call.
We wouldn't want to. So I do want there to be like also some form of like religious power. But I don't know what that is yet because I don't want it to compare to magic. And so perhaps like, and again, I am just saying stuff that's like, I haven't even typed any of this out or written anything down, but like perhaps fast rituals, something along those lines for ritual powers. And let's see, I could go on. So help me temper this focus.
Before you give away the farm.
Yeah.
Right? But I am pretty entertained with a couple of the names that I came up with. I think they're very clever.
Oh yeah. This guy over here. I think of something clever for a name, and then he just tops it all. So we're trying to.
He's the ideas guy.
Oh yeah. We're trying to come up with what would they call the Holocaust? And I was like, we'll just call it the last battle. And this guy over here, he says,
it's the final countdown.
Yeah,
it's like you gotta call it the final countdown.
Yeah, you have to.
It's like the final battle. And I'm like, whoa! The final countdown. You just write that down. That's gold.
Yeah, there is no other option there now.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. I take a lot of inspiration. I love the Mad Max series quite a bit. So I definitely want there to be cars, and I want there to be cars with loud petrol engines. Definitely. So we want there to be some of that. We want to.
Yep. Left thumbs.
Yeah. Don't know if we could
trade secrets.
Yeah. Don't know if we can call them that. I have to look into that yet still, but we want to fully explore what you can have in after after the bombs have dropped, or maybe even after disease has run rampant, or after an economic collapse. There's, and I have a few ideas on how to do that, but need to fully explore that more. Got to make a chat book first, and
got to start somewhere.
Yep,
baby steps.
Yeah,
exactly.
What'll help us with that is if we do unlock that goal.
Yeah.
Patreon. I linked the Patreon again in the chat. So people, give them your money. And on the topic for Radiator, I'm just
share it.
I'll just say that we're going to do a little bit more after this live stream. So there's going to be some more exclusive content regarding Radiator and some details released available on the Patreon. So guys, you've gotten the taste for Radiator. You want more?
Yeah.
Become a Patreon.
Yeah. Well, do we have any other questions while we're live and while we have people?
Anything else from the chat? That is it for my pre-planned questions that were submitted. Any other questions from the chat for these gentlemen?
They're just thinking really hard.
Chat, Chuck's really sucking up. Yeah.
Well, how did we get?
I was born this way.
Yeah.
I was born a boss.
Yeah.
There's really nothing I could do about it. I tried. I can't not be a boss.
Yeah, I'd say it's from being with a really, really neat group of people that have really come together for this. And Daniel always gives credit to people, so why shouldn't he get some, right? Like this guy, Daniel, spent 5 to 6 years of working every night trying to manage full-time job, manage a family, just slaving over this, and then bringing something to us and saying, I believe in this fully, and we may pick it apart, and what that could do is that could solidify, and he's going, no, this is what I want. Thanks for picking it apart, but yeah, you've solidified it for me. Or it may go, no, actually, yeah, I think we'll go that way. This guy at the beginning of every single show, and I have a terrible habit of forgetting it, but he doesn't. He says at the beginning of every show, this is the cult, the gang, the people who made Zweihander and Main Gauche excellent. And then he points us all out. He's very supportive. He tags me in just about any post that has to do with Zweihander. If he's like showing a picture of his bike, or like him sitting on the porch or something like that, then no. But like he's brought me along with him to the Ennies, to Gen Con. We're doing it again. So it's really amazing to be a part of somebody who cares about the product as much as he does, and is so open and available to anyone and everyone. You want to talk to him, email him, or get on the Discord and just say something. He'll check it. He'll be there. And because he has set that example, I got to live up to that. And so I try and be on the Discord every day as well. And not only have we found that it's a good strategy, because we're building an excellent community. We have a wonderful community full of people that want to talk all the time and are excited about the product. But like, it's so rewarding, and that is like what makes me think that I'm with a group of great people. Being a Midwesterner, I won't say that I am, but
Yeah, I couldn't agree more.
Gushing a bit.
I could not agree more. He's a very giving person. So
yeah,
I 100% agree.
I hope he's not watching anymore.
He is watching. He's in here.
Oh, dang.
He's lurking.
Sorry, clear my throat.
Oh.
I'm just kidding.
Okay. I saw you nodding.
I did.
Yeah. Do we have any other questions?
What's your sign?
What's my sign?
Yeah, what's your sign?
Oh, I'm a Cancer.
Mike?
I wouldn't say that. I'm an Aquarius.
Yeah.
I'm a Pisces.
There we go. Yeah. Like 2 water signs, and Aquarius is actually air, isn't it?
I thought it was water.
Yeah, I know it pours water, but I think it's actually an air because water is like Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces.
Sure.
When I was a teenager, I got really into it. Yeah. I actually believed horoscopes for like a couple weeks.
Never looked into it. I just know I'm twin fish going opposite directions.
Yeah.
Whatever. Well, that's it for my questions. Chat, anything else for these fellas? Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Well,
damn fine job, says BizLab. Yeah, good job, guys. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm glad you.
I had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
We'll have to do it again.
Yeah, well, for those that are patrons, they will see what we talk about here soon. Oh yes, we have a question for you. Thank you, Zweihander. We almost let that go. Thanks, Daniel. So, are you ready for this? We've got a question for you.
Sure, hit me.
Okay, we can't help but notice that on Discord,
your name's red. What's that about?
Yeah, what's going on? Super Sleuth Chuck also.
Yeah,
your name's red, and Adam's name's red, and Daniel's name's red. And Super Sleuth Chuck noticed, hey, what the hell? Why is your name red? Well,
you want to tell us?
I was approached by Daniel and these two gentlemen and asked to come on board to head up the streaming arm of Grim and Perilous Studios. So I couldn't say no. So thank you to the three of you for offering me this. So Jiaozam's Den is going to slowly fade and transition into Grim and Perilous Studios on Twitch and YouTube. All my content will be over there. What does that mean for the channel? We're just going to keep doing what we're doing. That's what Daniel said. Just keep running the games you're running. We're going to have lots of cool exclusive Zweihander stuff, of course, but we're going to focus on Zweihander, dark fantasy, and indie games, which is essentially what we're doing now. I'm super excited. We're still working out all the details. But yeah, I will be the guy on Grim and Perilous streaming, whatever that looks like or whatever it's called when we finalize that. So, and we have some possible cool things coming up as well for live streams.
We have some good ideas.
Yeah.
And hopefully we can share some of those soon. Ways that we can integrate, what we have already and, make it to where like maybe we're a little bit more involved with the streaming. Maybe he's a little bit more involved with the Patreon. Yeah. So
the wheels are in motion. We're chatting. We're plotting. Hey, Daniel, thanks for subscribing to the future Grim and Perilous Twitch channel. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, this just came about what, a week or two ago? We were going to discuss at Gen Con, and it came.
You were on vacation, and then
I was on vacation. I got a call at 11 o'clock or a message at 11 o'clock at night. I was set to wake up at 4 o'clock the next morning to head home for a 16-hour drive, and they said, "Hey, can you chat?" And I said, "I can't say no."
He said, "Join us.
Join us now."
Perilous.
Yeah, well, that is the exact type of call I would want to get on vacation.
Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
Who cares about getting up at 4 a.m?
I'm excited.
I am crazy excited. I'm happy I can now talk about it because I've been sitting here just like vibrating with excitement.
Yeah.
So, the cat's out of the bag.
Yeah. So we have one more announcement. It's not as exciting as this, but we are going to do yet another book giveaway on our Patreon.
Seemed to go really well last time. Got a lot of people interested. So
you don't need to pay for this one.
Nope.
It's not a raffle. You just need to follow us.
Well, you didn't need to pay for the last one.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
It's all you got to do is follow.
Yeah.
Follow you where? Sorry.
On Patreon.
On Patreon.
Yeah. If you follow us or are a patron, I mean, we're not going to leave you out then either.
Right.
Your name will be thrown into a hat and
helmet.
Yeah, a helmet. If you're part of Perilous Studios, sorry,
sorry, you don't.
I don't qualify.
Yeah, but
I tried to rig it to where I got my name, but
so
couldn't pull it off.
We're going to be doing another one, and so look for that soon.
I just linked the Patreon in the chat. Everybody who's in here, go join today.
Yeah. So that was given to us by Daniel, and so he really wants to see us doing well with the Patreon, and he by proxy does as well, But it's something that we can take on, and now you can take on with us, and so good things come.
Lots of exciting things. At least a few things I'm aware of. Very exciting. So
you'll be learning more.
Keep on top of Grim and Perilous streaming and news and all that good stuff. You can subscribe to our Twitch channel, and you'll be notified of when we go live. I've linked the Discord down in the chat, and these gentlemen and Daniel and myself are always on there all the time, willing to answer any questions you guys may have or engage with the community. And the link to the Patreon is also in the chat. So with that, I think we are done. Thank you, gentlemen. I appreciate it. We're going to do this again. This is the first of many.
You should definitely do this again.
Yeah.
Zweihander community Q&As. Links, more links. Okay, I'll get you guys links. Have a good night, everyone. Remember, there is going to be more stuff that we're filming after this, more details about Radiator, and if you want to learn more and watch those videos, you're going to have to become a Patreon.
It's a great thing we have a salesman now.
Right. That's my profession. I am a salesman. So, by trade.
Yep. Bye.
All right. Have a good night, everyone.